Hello, this is Dan Cabrera, and I hear from the chimes just across the street from me that it is 12 o'clock. I'd like to welcome all of you to today's presentation on an introduction to lynda.com. And no, I didn't misspell that. I didn't forget to capitalize it. That actually is how it's spelled, lynda.com. Okay. I'm Dan Cabrera, Multimedia Coordinator from Faculty Development Instructional Design Center here at Northern Illinois University. And I've been here for a few years teaching multimedia workshops and Blackboard-related workshops as well. I'm kind of a lucky person because I get to play with some new tools that are heavy on multimedia. Today I'm joined by my colleague, Lucia Pu Wang, who is a doctoral student of instructional technology in the College of Education. She's also a graduate assistant here in faculty development. All right, today's workshop, what we will do today is sort of describe what is lynda.com, okay? And how is lynda.com used typically, but probably more important, how is it used here at NIU, or how it could potentially be used by NIU faculty? And how can NIU faculty, students, and staff access it, which is kind of a cool feature. It's not limited to any one group. We'll also be talking about the quality of the tutorials and how to use the Identify and Search feature to find courses that are relevant and helpful to you and your students. And then we'll talk a little bit about one of the benefits of taking these online courses through lynda.com, being able to finish it off with an earned certificate. We'll explain what that is as well. So today's learning objectives, what will you come away with this? Well, you'll be able to identify what is lynda.com, and you'll be able to identify at least 3 ways in which lynda.com has been used or can be used. You'll also be able to demonstrate how NIU personnel can access it. All right, so what is lynda.com? I've been aware of lynda.com's existence for quite a number of years, but I always felt it was just not really available or accessible to me because of what I thought at the time was a prohibitive cost, a yearly cost. I'd rather spend my money in other areas. But lynda.com is a leading online learning program, or I should say company, that can help anyone learn business, software, technology, and creative skills in order to achieve their personal and professional goals. It's also an excellent e-learning leader in the field. Now, lynda.com was founded in 1995 in California as an online support for the books and classes of Linda Weinman, who was the founder. In fact, I was going to say that the very first slide that we saw, the title slide, actually is a drawing of Linda, and actually she looks exactly like that. She was a special effects animator and multimedia professor who founded a digital art school with her husband, artist Bruce Heaven. In 2002, they began offering courses online. But by 2004, there were 100 courses. And in 2008, the company began producing and publishing documentaries on creative leaders, artists, and entrepreneurs. On April 9th, 2015, LinkedIn Corporation announced its intention to buy lynda.com in a deal valued at $1.5 billion, which officially closed on May 14th, 2015. So, how is lynda.com used? Well, sometimes we want to find that perfect job. Maybe we'll take the perspective of a student who's getting ready to finish their studies and go into the workforce, start their career, but they lack a specific technical skill. Other times, individuals might need to switch from Windows to a Mac OS, or maybe there's an update on your Microsoft Office suite, and it's kind of difficult. You're used to seeing things in a certain order. Sometimes we want to do crazy things like want to compose music or touch up photos without the know-how to do so. So when it comes to finding a trustworthy one-stop shop for improving our personal digital crafts, it might be important to take a refresher in business software or learning a marketable skill. And it turns out that lynda.com provides the resources to be able to do that. In fact, it's become one of the largest educational repositories on the net, and it features hundreds of instructors. They are constantly evolving to expand coverage of new content areas. This actually, I'm taking this information from a review that Nick Toscano had written. And he believes that this ability to constantly evolve and adapt to a changing world is a chief facet that really allows lynda.com to reach an ever-growing audience as compared with their competitors. So I could talk about lynda.com's topic areas, but I'm going to leave that to my colleague, Lucia. She'll be talking about that in just a few minutes. I should mention that in lynda.com, there are many, many courses. There are thousands of courses, and there are many more thousand video tutorials for each one of these well, not thousands for each course, but there are thousands of video tutorials that are part of the courses that have been developed. Right now, there's an average of about 60 new courses being added per month. And it's quite significant since in developing the course, it's not simply just recording someone saying something, putting a camera in front. It's very well orchestrated. In fact, I think they have a motto there, lynda.com: conviction, choreography, and compassion, in terms of their approach to teaching online. The courses actually range from beginner to advanced. Okay. The one, I guess, stumbling block for a lot of folks is a membership fee. Now, this is as of 2014. It was, I think, about $25 a month, or about $250 a year. The premium cost, the premium membership, was $375 a year. Now, it may not seem like a lot of money for a lot of folks, but for students, that may be a basic stumbling block that keeps folks from taking advantage of this particular resources, which is turns out to be a very valuable resource. Well, how can it be used? Well, if we look at recognizing that this is very early in this process, this resource, lynda.com, didn't really become available until very recent. I think it was the end of October, the beginning of November. However, there were a couple of faculty members who recognized the value of this and used this in their own classes. Talking about my one of them, Jason Rohde, who is Karen asked, do NIU students have to pay for this? Very good. After I talked about the cost of membership, this is one of the benefits of what just occurred. NIU signed a site license campus-wide agreement for lynda.com, which means that everyone on campus, that's students, faculty, and staff, all now have access to lynda.com. I'll show you in a few minutes how to get access to lynda.com when we get to that point in the presentation. But thank you, Karen, for reminding me. It's a great new feature resource that NIU has made available to everyone on campus. And one of those people is Jason Rohde. Jason Rohde is the director of Faculty Development Instructional Design Center here, but he also is an adjunct faculty in the College of Education. And Jason was aware that a site license would be signed sometime in the fall semester. So he actually prepared well in advance to use some of the features. Now, the actual scope of what's available, the technology and software, I will leave to my colleague Lucia Wang to describe. But one of the features that, or one of the courses that he thought he could make use of was a course that taught how to build websites. And so he actually had his students go to a Google Sites tutorial or course, and it wasn't very long, but the students had to get through it, and then as a result, follow up by building an actual website. Now, this actually takes time out of the course itself. Students would be doing this on their own, learning how to build websites and actually follow through with the assignment with completing it. The same can be said for a second assignment that Jason had, was on screencasting. And screencasting really is basically recording what happens on your computer monitor. And although Jason could have spent time teaching his students how to do that, I think he felt it was probably more useful to have students go on their own time to learn how to do screencasting. And it does take a little bit of time to learn it. I believe he was using Camtasia, which is one that I use a lot. It's a premier screencasting software program that allows you to do so much, not just record what's on your screen, but also do a lot of post-production, a lot of zoom in, a lot of annotation, adding titles. It really turns in a basic recording into something quite polished. And so Jason had his students look at go to the website, the course, and learn how to do that on their own. Okay. A second faculty member who also took advantage is another adjunct faculty, John Kearsing, for the College of Business, actually used this lynda.com to help his students in the area of calculating earned value, which is a project management concept. John was at a recent open forum that described faculty use of lynda.com. And he talked about he was going to be presenting this to his students, going to create a session, but he became ill, and he felt that he might not be able to do the best job on that because of his illness. I know it's a temporary illness. I think it was just a really bad cold, or maybe it was the flu. So he actually became aware of lynda.com and its accessibility, and so he just happened to log in and type in a search, and this is something that Lucia will show you how to do. On calculating earned value. And lo and behold, he found a great resource to be able to do that. And so he used that. His students were really really received a lot of benefit from that. In fact, I have a few tutorials that his students shared after experiencing this resource. This is one, and of course I've kept the names anonymous, but one of the students reported, "We have a Lynda account at my work, and both myself and my employees have used it to bolster our skills on topics that local training is not possible. Our media manager uses it to improve his photo editing software knowledge, and I've used it in the past when confronted with a project that was outside my depth. I like it because when my mind wanders, I can catch myself, rewind, and refocus. Plus, the topics that I research are ones that I'm interested in, and usually applicable to what's going on in my life at that time." Another student says, "I used Lynda a couple of times, and I was working for an IT company before using it for the Calculating Earned Value certification." Certification, we'll come back to that in a little while. "I felt it's a very user-friendly, video-based learning environment. I love using it for getting basic knowledge on any topic given." And finally, this last testimonial, "I watched last night one video in Lynda about setting a project communication plan. Since Lynda is a LinkedIn company, it has a direct link to add your certificates to your LinkedIn profile, which is super cool. I will check the other IT courses today. This is definitely a win-win for NIU and their students." There's one more very brief testimonial that just says, "This is gold," because I didn't include it right here. All right, so how do you access lynda.com? Now, I don't want everyone to stop with listening to this presentation because there's so much more left that would be beneficial. But it's very easy. Now, I have to say that in terms of a URL, lynda.com has the easiest URL to remember. So it's like, what's the phone number to 911? It is literally lynda.com, and it is lowercase Lynda. It's not spelled with an I, though. Okay, and if you were to try to access just directly going into lynda.com, what you would end up getting is you don't have an account. So we're not going to go that way. In fact, what we do as members of NIU, we're going through a different procedure. It's called Shibboleth. It's authentication, so that when we go into this this uh, method of entry, it will know that we are officially recognized members of NIU. So the URL for that is go.niu.edu/Linda. That's go.niu.edu/Linda, Lynda. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you there to show you what that looks like. All right. Everybody can see it. Great. Thank you so much. All right. So here I am. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type in my my account number or my username, and I'm going to type in my password. And I'm going to log in. It's taking a little bit of time. Great. All right, now I'm in. And I guess we can all see this. You can see right here, it's relatively easy. If you've got a number of suggestions of what to watch, if I want to I actually have been watching a few here. I've got continued watching, and I could go on to Google Sites Essentials, Office 365, Word Essentials, Universal Principles of Universal Design, which is great. It's very relevant to what I do. And then below, these are our brand new courses. These courses have just been added recently to lynda.com. Okay. And so if it wanted to, I could go down and search to see what is available. However, what's probably more useful is to be able to search the website for what I want to do. And there's up above here, there is a opportunity to put in a search strategy, but I'm going to leave that for my colleague, and she'll come in and she'll show you. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to stop the screen capture. Okay. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint slide presentation. Okay. And I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Lucia.
Hi, everybody. As Dan just mentioned to us, it is a great news to everyone, especially our faculties and also the student as me. Lynda.com recently introduced to NIU with full access. You don't need to pay for the membership, which is really expensive to me, and we'll have the premium access to Lynda.com. And the premium access is with unlimited access to all the content, access to learning tools such as certificate, transcript, playlist, and more, and also practice files to download to follow along with the instructor. I'll show you those great feature later. Okay, let's go to lynda.com to really try out those cool features. Can everybody see this? Okay, great. So I'm going to show you like how I normally sign in with it. So I sometimes use my NIU email because I might forget to go to that go.niu.edu/Lynda. So I sometimes do this, and it will actually direct me to an organizational login. As you can see. See, it redirect me to login with Northern Illinois University's Chevrolet login. And it's going a little bit slow. Oh, I guess it remembers Dan's credential. So no problem. I think sorry that we have a technical problem on my own computer. So I think I'm just going to continue with everybody in Dan's account. So what areas of course you're going to have in lynda.com? Let's look at the library. So we have 3D animation, audio and music, business, CAD, design, developers. So all the famous things that is going on in the IT field with e-learning is on this lynda.com. And you can see with scrolling down at the area of content, you can see the topic that is actually related to it. Let me see, because I'm an instructional technology student, so I'm just going to show you some education and e-learning stuff. So we have this educational technology, e-learning, higher education, instructional design list in here, and also we have software listed according to all kinds of tutorials. As you can see, you can really identify your interest with this library, and also when you click on it, you can see all subject with, and you can sort them in with the letter. And all these tutorials in lynda.com are created by experts in the field. So we can also see the courses according to the authors. And it's running a little bit slow. As you can see here, we have this all of the experts on different content field, and they are actually the one who designed the course. And every tutorial will start with themselves introduce who are they and what they are going to show you here. So we have this playlist. I want to show you guys about the closed caption and also the transcription on the tutorial. Let us choose something we want to look at. For example, we can search for SPSS, which is a statistic tool we usually use to do our research. Let's see. If we search for SPSS, we have this SPSS Statistic Essential Training course on here. With this course, we can watch it. As you can see, we have the transcript of all the things that we want to see here, and it has me put down the voice value. So when you going on with the course, it actually have a tracker on the transcript that you are going to see here. It's very convenient, because sometimes if you are in a public place and you forgot to get your headphone with you, then you can actually look at the transcript. It's also according to the universal design, so everything needs to be transcribed in order for people to see it. And also they have the course details under the video, and also you have the FQAs. One thing I want to point out is they have this My Note session, which you can take notes along with you taking the course. As I just told you before, we actually have exercise files to go along with our course. Let me see, I think I have did an essential training on Excel, and that is the one that we can actually download some of the exercise files to go along with it here, as you can see here. Because a lot of course now requires a lot of course materials, and it has been a problem for a lot of professors to spend a lot of time designing those exercise files to go along with their instruction. So the convenience of lynda.com is that you already have the practice file that design along with the tutorial. So students can actually practice along with your course, and you can even ask them to turn in their result. And because everybody gets the same kind of data set, and the result, it will be really easy to grade. Now let's talk briefly about how to identify your interest area. As I just told you briefly about, like here, we go to the instruction, go to the education and e-learning. There are different topics underneath it. See if we are really interested in teachers' professional development. And we can have the skill level. We can choose that. If you are a beginner, just started, I found it is really good to use this tool, because I think there is I've been a subscriber of Linda.com for like more than 1 year because I'm an extra student and my professor started to use it as a requirement for us to watch on video production, I think. So I've been using it for more than 1 year. I often found this site to be a lifesaver because if you really want to start with something, there's massive amount of file and tutorials you can find on just by Google search. You don't know how good is the resources. And for the Lynda.com, their quality of the tutorial is guaranteed, and it helps especially when working under tight deadlines. You cannot search just on Google to see which one fits you the best. And and as I say, it works under tight deadlines with a little time to learn something new. And there's nothing more relaxing about just sit on the couch, have a cup of coffee, and learn something new by just watching the videos. It is really, really good. And as we just talked about, we can sort it into a skill level, and also we can see there's a great amount of software. You can click on Show More to see the whole list. And we can also sort it by author. Those are all the filters you can apply to it. So you can see here we just choose the intermediate, and the filters will appear in here. If you want to delete the filter, you just click on the X beside it. Let me see. Let me show you guys this playlist function, which will be really good for professors to choose a bunch of courses that they can send to their student to watch as a course requirement. As you guys can see, I just easily add 3 courses into my playlist by just click here and click on the plus sign. Now when we go to the playlist, we actually have it here. The great function of this playlist, you can share it to your student. And I guess we must make it public to share it. So we can share this playlist by several ways, such as email address, URL link. You can actually post in your Blackboard area in an announcement, or in like weekly weekly modules. You can share the URL link there. By they click on the URL link, it will directly direct them to lynda.com to see the course list of this playlist. And you can also share it on Facebook. See if a student found something is really useful, or you have a lot of subscribers on your Facebook that are interested in what are you studying right now. So you can share it on your Facebook and also Twitter and also LinkedIn. Lynda.com always give the subscribers convenience. As you can see here, if you go into the course and you click on it and have it and learn it, it will actually record where did you stop, and next time when you click on it, it will continue play after play at the time that you actually stopped before. Lynda.com comes with not only exercise files and transcript, it also will provide you a certificate after you finish each course. The certificate can be used in several ways. One is kind of like show their completion of this course. You can ask your student to watch this a bunch of instructional videos and ask them to submit their certificate of completion in order to show that they have learned and watched it. And also, they can have this maybe at their profile, put it into their portfolios, something like that. And I think it will be really good for their career build, because when you finish a bunch of course and have this a list of certificate, you can actually see like what area of your expertise is, and you will have.
Somebody's asking a question.
Oh, so mm-hmm.
So go ahead and ask your question. She says she don't ask a question.
Oh, Shito, please ask a question. Where do I go to take a course? Um, for taking a course, what I mean is our faculties can apply lynda.com tutorial into their course design. They can post a link of a specific course, such as let me show you design. Like there's digital painting, and you can select this course. By adding it to your playlist, you can share the playlist with your. By adding the playlist, you can share this playlist with your student. Then your student know what courses, what tutorial is beneficial to their course, and they can take a look at this video as a support materials of their learning. Uh, does does this solve your question? Okay, thank you. So let's continue about the certificate. So as I mentioned, the certificate can be used as a proof of a completion, and also as a proof of like what area of experts of what area you have actually have experiences in. And then, do you have anything to add to the certificate? Yeah.
Thank you, Lucia. We're doing sort of a tag team today. We're actually using the same computer today. We had some technical challenges, but yes, certificate's actually sort of it's like a badge in the course. Now, the thing about certificates is that it can be used to demonstrate that someone's taken the course. Now, it's like anything else. You don't know whether your students have actually done it unless you have something to support that, and that would be in the form of a quiz. So after they've taken the quiz, I mean, after they've taken the course and gone through it, they're asked to follow through, and that could be a quiz that you create. Of course, it's one of the many great features in Blackboard is be able to create a quiz on specific content. And depending on their performance, you could say, well, you didn't get, well, let's say you have to get a minimum of 80% or higher. I'd like you to take the quiz again. I mean, I'd like you to take the course again. So this actually is sort of a kind of a verification, and they can accumulate these certificates. Now, I should say that there's no really third-party, I guess, validation of these particular certificates. But I think it's sort of an indication that they have at least been exposed to the content, and so they may develop a proficiency in Microsoft Office Suite, or perhaps maybe a proficiency in universal design. It all depends on the topic area that you're including into your own design, as your course design, as Lucia had mentioned. Okay, I'm going to stop the application share right now. All right, so what was your question about videos? Or yes, please go ahead, Donna. Oh, I guess it was answered. Oh, videos. I'm not really sure that in the context of that. Let me just look at the chat area. What's your question? When she mentioned that you could be public, I was wondering. Okay, I think this really had to do with sharing your playlist. If you're going to be sharing your playlist with other individuals, and you have to make it public so that it's available. Otherwise, it would just, if it was kept private, it was something only you had access to. So by making it available to your students, by changing that option for public, they can in fact look at that. Of course, now if you're sharing a playlist with your students for the course, then of course they'd have to still log in using that same shibboleth authentication, and that's how they could um, have access to it. All right. All right. I just wanted to show you that this is what a certification looks like. Now, what I've done is I've actually blocked out the name of the individual, but this actually is a screen capture of one of the individuals who had taken the Calculating Earned Value course that that John Kearsing had asked their students to do. And, this is sort of validates that at least they've been exposed to it. Now, it's the same thing as if, you ask your students to read the textbook. Will they read it? Well, you don't know. You're not sitting there with them, and so it's kind of difficult. Now, how can you validate or verify that somebody's done something, read the material? You give a quiz, as I mentioned before. And so following any assignment where people are asked to do something, then you just test them. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Jason asked his students to build a website and use the Google Sites course to provide instruction for his students. Now, the quality of the outcome or the website really would be a measure of how well they learned and developed these new skills. So certification actually is a way to at least partially verify people have at least been exposed to the content. Whether they've learned anything or not really needs to be followed up with some sort of assessment procedure. All right. Okay, and I think Lucia really has mentioned the value, the benefits of having been exposed to a variety of different courses, online courses offered through lynda.com in terms of benefit to career, lifelong learning, and commitment to lifelong learning certificates, and better preparing someone for the future. Now, lynda.com really has kind of a motto. It's conviction, choreography, and compassion. And conviction really is an attempt to identify the highest quality instruction. And so there was a significant vetting process for any instructor to go through, and they have to sort of meet a certain level of acceptability to be able to do that. But you can have the best instructor in the world. If they don't really know how to put something online, then of course it really has limited value. And so choreography, it really is the dance between the instructor and instructional design professionals, and to be able, because it's not simply a matter of putting a camera in front of someone and recording them teaching. It's also a combination of imagery, perhaps maybe interactive animated videos, and of course the use of the exercise files that Lucia had mentioned. So it really is well done. In addition, they also have a attention to detail for accessibility. The fact that they have a transcript available for all of the material really speaks volumes about their commitment to making sure that all students have access to the material. And compassion, it really has to do with the belief that all students have the capacity to learn if given the proper setting and support. Okay. All right. So what we've done is looked, through the questions of what exactly is lynda.com. How can it possibly benefit me, my students? And I really want to emphasize that it really just isn't for individuals, although it's probably used a lot for that, to make you better at using Excel, better at using photography. But there are so many different topic areas, and we just touched on a few of the technical ones and the software ones. But I invite you to go in and explore and look for yourself to see if there's something that might be interesting to you. Certainly the areas of education and instructional design are also quite valuable to improve your own teaching skills. Okay. So at this point, we have a little bit of time left. I'd like to ask if there are any more questions regarding the use of this. Hey, I have a question. This is Dan asking the question himself. Well, how can I learn how to be better at using lynda.com? Well, a follow-up to this workshop, which is simply a introduction to lynda.com, showing you what it is and the resource or the features that it has, is a hands-on workshop, which we will be conducting in the spring semester. Uh, what could possibly make lynda.com even better? Well, I'd say an integration with Blackboard. And in fact, there is a Blackboard building block integration that can be installed, and making it very easy to give access to the students, uh, to playlists that you create, or a particular video. You don't have to have a playlist that has that has an entire course. You can actually go down more granularly and pick a particular video in the course if that serves a certain need. So you actually have a great ability to tailor your instruction for your students and do it within Blackboard. I was hoping to show that today, but right now it's the building block, the lynda.com building block, is on the development server. It's not actually in a server that we use for our own courses right now, but it will be. I think there's a couple of technical glitches that have to be worked out, but that will be, soonly, that will be done shortly. And so for those individuals who have a need that maybe perhaps they might want to use some of these resources for their own courses in the spring semester, I would be happy to to invite you to join this workshop. Of course, if you can't wait until then, I invite you to come and see myself, Dan Cabrera. I believe you have that contact information from one of the original slides, and I will send the PowerPoint slides to everyone who is in today's session. All right, so once again, do we have any questions? Okay, Randy asked, will that workshop happen before the beginning of the spring semester? Unfortunately not. I don't know whether in fact the building block will be installed before the start of the spring semester. The hope is that it will be. All right. Okay, Stephanie. Stephanie says, I want to acknowledge the contributions of, oh, yes, the Division of IT and Cindy Kozumplik. Without them, we would not have access to lynda.com. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for bringing that up like this. Linda has been a wonderful colleague in helping us get familiar with lynda.com. We've had several meetings with her. We have, in faculty development, we wrote an article about it, promoting it. Certainly, DOIT also wants to promote its use, and they've actually had articles written. In fact, this past week in the Northern Star, there was an article written about lynda.com so that students can become more and more aware of it. I believe that there's going to be some also other attempts to promote it. Maybe some posters in the library, maybe on some of the buses, so that students can become aware of it. But I think the individual that needs to be most concerned or aware about it is instructors, faculty who perhaps want to have an opportunity to benefit their own instruction. That's a supplement or something that complements what they already do. Now, I should probably emphasize this is not going to replace your instruction. It will enhance your instruction and give an overall enhanced experience, learning experience for your students. So I think that's the spirit in which we are offering this resource. Chital asked, how can we access to record sessions? I would love to listen to. Oh, okay. Yes, this session is being recorded, and shortly after today's session, I will make that link available to you. All right. David, no questions. I think I just need to explore lynda.com and see what's there. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, David. Absolutely. And really, it's something that you might find yourself getting lost in an afternoon rather than spending time on YouTube, spending time in lynda.com and seeing the variety of different possible courses that are offered. And then within each course, see that there might be a number of different video tutorials that support. Should also reiterate what Lucia had mentioned, that there are different levels of instruction. So if you have an interest in learning about something like Excel, for instance, you can come in as a complete novice and receive instructions. or if you feel that you have relatively advanced skills, but you want to sort of maybe promote them even more, there is an advanced level there as well. Okay. Let's see. Chital says, "Thank you. Oh, well, thank you so much, Chital. uh, you make me turn my head. Learned a lot from you and the family. Great. You are most welcome. All right. So one last opportunity for questions. Okay. I'm going to send a follow-up email with a link to an evaluation. I'd really appreciate it if you could fill that out. You're welcome, Donna. Welcome, Therese. Okay, great. Well, if there's no more questions, then we can officially end this. And thank you so much. I appreciate your attendance and your attention. You're welcome, Bill.